Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome back. It's Charlie. It is May the 2nd, 2023. May. And a little bit of May gray, as we call it around here. It's about almost 11 o'clock, I think 10:50 in the morning. I was on my way to downtown LA. Has not been a really good day. My mail once again got stolen. This sucks. I was on my way to go to the post office to go check my mail, and my other roommate was coming up, and I told him, "Oh yeah, I was gonna go check my mail," and he said, "Oh, what are you looking for?" I go, "Well, I was looking for, in particular, my jury summons, because I got a jury summons a while back ago, and I haven't had the time to go to the post office." And he goes, "I think I saw that in the box in the front room." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Do you want me to get it for you and hold on to it?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, where are you going now?" I go, "Well, I'm supposed to have a meeting, and then I'm supposed to go to LA to the oncologist office." And that kind of got screwed up too. So I'm here. I'm over here by the Southwestern Museum, almost coming down to Los Angeles. And Lincoln Heights is the next preceding area. But anyway, he goes, no. He says, I'll go to the front room because, Carla doesn't like me, and I don't want to go over there and upset her apple cart. So we went back to the house, and he went to the front room, and he said, "It's not there." I go, "What?" He goes, "It's not there." Well, they took it. They took my jury. Either they took my jury summons, or they threw it away, because I had gone back to the post office to file a grievance and to check the mail, and the only thing that came was AARP advertising and stuff like that. So I texted the landlord. I'm like, this is just no good. So I'm the kind of, I know for a lot of folks, oh, it's just a jury summons. I get my jury summons, and I like to get them, and I like to fill them out and send them back. I don't want to, if I'm at work or at home or whatever, or get a knock or another nasty letter that says, well, you failed to appear. I'm the kind of guy that when I turned 18, I went to the post office to proudly register with Selective Service. And even whenever, I'd get jury summons and stuff, I like to fill it out and send it back. It's just, for me, it's part of my duty, So I know for a lot of folks, well, that's no big deal. For me, it is. And the fact, even more so, that it's upsetting is that they steal my mail. So that, especially considering it took me so long to get my my key from Google and YouTube, to be able to get my channel monetized and stuff like that. So if it's not yours, leave it alone, or at least say something. Hey, retard, there's mail in front of you. Don't you check? Well, no, because you don't like me going up there. So I was on my way to the oncologist, and to call to double check and see if it was at 3 o'clock or 3:30, and it was 2:45. So, and this is another thing with the whole Medi-Cal situation and going from doctor to doctor, or if there's a doctor that's out of the area that I had to get a referral to, i.e. the oncologist and stuff, or the cardiologist, not so much, because it's within the network, but the oncologist is out of the network, so I got to go all the way to downtown LA, past Dodger Stadium. So, and then I call, well, did you get, no, I go, because my doctor, when I was at the doctor's office yesterday, she said that I have to get a referral. She goes, no, you just go to any Quest lab and request it. I go, well, I was told, well, no, you just go to Quest and tell them give them the name of the doctor. They'll call us, and we'll call them, and we'll tell them specifically what it is that we want for blood work. Okay, so there's a good morning just really wasted. Although I was able to, I was kind of trying to kill some. Well, I was so upset that I was also trying to kill time, so I went to the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army has gotten a little lazy. You know, they don't put things by size anymore. Now the clothes and the shoes and everything that they display, they're very much like Goodwill. So they kind of put it color coordinated, you know, from lights and all colors of similarity, and they don't have any longer the sizes. So I'm there for about 15 minutes sliding and trying to see my size and everything, and they didn't have anything, and I got frustrated. Luckily I went to the Goodwill. I guess today was senior day, so it was 15% off. I found some slacks that I hope that are my size for $7.99, and I saw some shoes, but geez, Goodwill and Salvation Army now, their prices for their used clothing is retail. They $49.99 for a pair of black shoes. So I'm like, nah. And then I had called, well, I emailed Regal to tell them that I can't right now at the moment start because I'm still in the process of trying to get the proper attire and stuff like that. At least, I'm hoping at the very least that I can, I need to get the slacks and the shoes. That is a must. The shoes, the slacks I got, I'm gonna go home and try them back on and try them on and see if they fit. I'm pretty sure that they do. And I at least need the socks and the shoes. And the shoes, I think, in this part will be about the most expensive part. $49.99. I mean, they're nice shoes, leather. You know, kind of like what I used to buy when I was younger, like at Floor Shines and stuff like that. It's just not a good day. Not a good day. Hey folks. I wish this was a good video, but that's why I have the other one. And I'm over here now. Let me show you. This over here is LA. That's kind of like the Virgen, the representation of the Virgen. She is pointing to the Southwest Museum. Southwest Museum over here. I think that way. Oh yeah, that way to go to the store and the residential areas. Standing on the tracks. I'm not gonna go home right now. Not in a good mood. This is the Southwest Museum. Down that direction is going to Union Train Station. And over here, Southwest Museum. And that's kind of headed back into like South Pasadena, and all cities adjacent. When I was a wee lad, I can remember as early as second grade. This was one of the first field trips. This used to be. Well, I don't think they really have field trips nowadays that much. It's really beautiful over here. They're beautiful homes. It's quiet. But over here, the South Museum, I remember going, and I think we had, there's a coyote. Ooh, he came down from there. Yeah, there's a lot of wildlife here. There he is. Hey, did you see him? But anyway, this is the Southwest Museum. Native American, local, a lot of also. Oh, there he is. He sees me. He's like, what are you looking at? See him? There's a lot of wildlife around here. It's very beautiful. It's quite serene. A lot of fantastic, these kind of curvy streets. But a lot of great homes out there. I will definitely link this down. This is one of these kind of little treasure troves that you don't really know about. As I've said so many times, we have so many places of wonder and beauty here in Southern California, but mainly in Los Angeles, because it's very, very rich in history. Native American, Mexican, and all those sorts. It's really cool. Plus it's so tranquil, just hearing the birds. Now honestly, all these homes they've been here for eons in the broad spectrum of whatever, but no, they've been here. And as hard as the rains that we have, most of these homes were built a long time ago. The foundations are drilled way deep down in the earth. And some of the other homes that you really see like on stilts, used to call them stick houses because it looks like they were on popsicle sticks, especially in the Hollywood Hills. They you would think that they would have fallen, but I can only really honestly remember in my time of maybe one home collapsing of an earthquake. I think that was like during the Northridge earthquake. Shoot, I was living in Tahoe during that time, but we felt the shaking and stuff like that. So that was a pretty gnarly earthquake, an actual event that we had. Yeah, they're pretty strong. They're very well built. Certainly, as I've said so many times, most of these homes, today's modern builders couldn't even hold a flicker to the craftsmanship of these homes. And yes, it is a free museum, I believe. Like with a lot of these places, there are donations suggested at the entrance. Like that. I remember when I was shortly after I was born, I think when I was about 2 years old, we lived, I think it was around here or more around the Glendale area. I'm more in the presumption that it was more around this area. But we lived in kind of an area that it was one of those more of the apartment. And I do remember that the walkway was really kind of iffy. There was planks actually that we had to cross. And I remember my mom kind of walking me behind, pulling her arm back and holding the carrier, stuff like that, because she was, or my hand and stuff. Now I remember, I'd be surprised. And I remember that it was really narrow and stuff like that. So I also remember the nopales, the cactus plants and stuff like that. I'm really upset. I am just really upset. This is the kind of stuff that just messes up my life. There's some really beautiful homes out here. There's Casa Verde. Casa Verde is right here. Well, seeing as I got some time, well, the positive outcome is that I got some slacks. Nice little skate ramp down. There's a cute little park. It is so quiet over here. Over here, you don't really hear too many of the helicopters. So this is where we are. There's another place over here, the Heritage Square Museum. And then Union Station. Now they're still working on this connection. This is the turn that kind of comes around through Little Tokyo. They've been working on this thing for the past, I want to say, 4 years at least. They have yet to open it. I believe they're close to completion, but I'm not sure. And it would go all the way to East LA. This is Casa Verde. It's cute. This property is awesome. I love this property. The old kind of Southwest cobbled wall, stone wall. This goes to USC. This bus, where I was born, which back in those times was called General Hospital. I have the same soap opera. All right, now the sun is starting to come up. It's kind of funny because yesterday there were a lot of folks on my Facebook feed. Hey, this rain really wasn't supposed to come in until Monday night. Hey, yeah, it was a little unexpected, I guess. Yesterday I was running around. I had 2 doctor's appointments. Plus I got lucky, and my internet had been off for the last month, a little over a month. I had been delinquent on paying it because I just didn't have the money, and I got lucky enough that the little bit that I had stowed away, I went yesterday and paid off my internet. So I don't have to go to I don't have to be at Starbucks at 5 o'clock in the morning to go pirate the internet to take 5 hours and stuff like that. So this is Los Angeles. It kind of changes rather quickly. It's quiet. This is Figueroa right here. Figueroa's kind of got a reputation, and in that I mean Prostitution Row in some areas. I think going up more that way. Oh, here's where they moved the recycling center. See, in Pasadena, they took out all of the recycling centers. We had one at Rouse, we had Vaughn's over by where I live. That's where the ex and I used to go do our recycling when we were living on Raymond, when we were all still together. Back in the days where they were actually still recycling wine bottles before the whole stipulation of no, you can't because you're not paying. I think it's kind of weird with the whole CRV out in here in California. Wine bottles, I guess you don't pay tax, or you do pay tax or redemption tax, but you do on, and that's also spirit bottles, but you do on canned beer and stuff like that. It's rather confusing. So then they tightened up and they were no longer. But during the course, just before the lockdown, they started closing them down because a lot of the homeless were leaving their trash and everything and leaving a mess. And some would just camp around out there and stuff like that. And they were just making a mess and stuff. So Pasadena just said no more. They pulled out all the recycling centers in Pasadena, which kind of sucks for a lot of the folks. So now I know they have to come up over here. They took out the one in Monrovia by the train station, and I think they shuttered also the huge recycling and reclamation center on Lincoln in Pasadena altogether. I don't know, but wanted to come to Superior and just check it out. It smells so good. They got some good pan dulce, some really great pastries here. Ooh, look at that. Oh, goodness. Yum. Two stores. There's Baja Ranch and Superior, which is closer up to Altadena. Kind of out of my way, both of them. But I should just come here. The produce is so much better, especially in Baja Ranch. More affordable. The selection, all the spices, especially the ethnic spices and everything. Everything is just so awesome here. Everything looks like the bud is Budweiser's kind of okay. This is what I like. Chicharrones. I'm such a dummy. I don't know why I just don't bother with going to these supermarkets. It's just so much more affordable. Definitely a lot more affordable than your Kroger chain brands of stores. Smith's, Fry's, Kroger, especially, and the meat. These kind of ethnic stores, the meat is so much more better. The cuts are better. The cuts are generous, and there's a variety of cuts from like Milanesa to like super thin sliced meat for like chicken fried steaks and stuff like that, to really thick cuts. And the butchers are always on hand, so you could always get special cuts, as opposed to like your larger brand stores where their cuts, their meats are always pretty much pre-selected, so the butcher doesn't have to do so much cutting and stuff like that. Here they love it. To them, they still take it that old fashioned kind of trade, as it were, you know, the butcher and stuff like that. And huge beautiful red and pink meats, the pork, the chickens, and the pork is like my big thing. But I was able to find two things that I wanted. Some asparagus. It's $2.49 for a bunch, and coffee, because I go through coffee quite a bit. I don't know how coffee is expensive where you folks are, but here for the average now, I don't. The coffee that I used to get normally, or the X and I used to get, that we love, the Folgers, the extra dark roast, that is like on an average of $14 to $15 for about maybe a 10.5. Now that 10.5 used to be a 13.25 ounce jars, but like with shrinkflation and everything, there's so much more, plus the prices go up. So for a 7-ounce jar of coffee is $4.99. Currently right now at the in Pasadena, it's about anywhere from $6 to $7 and $8 usually. So $4.99 is about the average of what I get, and I'll get a couple of jars because I go through a lot of coffee. All right, time to get back. I really, and I'm also expecting my coordinator guy to, well, we were supposed to meet up today because I got my paperwork signed from the doctor. Because I am actually listed as disabled through the housing authority. Yeah, it's because I had to have the doctor sign that out yesterday. So we'll see. I really, really want this. Not like I said, I'm not really putting all my eggs in there. Don't even have no eggs. No tengo huevos. So we'll see. All right, we'll get back to the insane asylum. Waiting for the train. Let me just show you. It's windy. It's nice though. This is a. See, that's the coffee right there. I don't know how much alcohol. I know it's expensive, first of all. A lot more expensive. And I started when I was working at Target. And then I was working at Rouse. It was like really, really. Liquor and soda pop is so expensive out here. But this is what I mean. The prices of. Ay, mama. And it's nice that you see the fresh meats and everything. It is so much more better in person when you see it.